under 10.5 on the line.
You have to be the biggest, dumbest idiot.
Josh Allen inside the 10, inside 5, touchdown, game over.
Going into the draft, I was a big Penix guy. I'm still a big Penix guy.
Rashee Rice is way ahead of schedule in his ACL rehab, which is good news for his fantasy managers because the Dallas court system is way behind schedule. That's also good news for local comedian Miles Francis. Oh, hello and welcome to What Are We Talking About with Jamie Jakes. I am him, and today we are going to do some Dynasty Fantasy Football sell highs. Every draft pick you acquire right now will grow in value the closer we get to the 2026 draft. So even if you are win now is a great time to sell some of your assets so you can flip them in week 5 of the NFL season after a few of your league mates have a bad start and trying to rebuild. Flip those draft picks then to fill some holes you had with injuries, just basic team building. So even if you're not a rebuilding team, now is a great time to get these draft picks. And if you are a rebuilding team, it's the best time to get draft picks. So let's get right into it. And this first one's going to hurt my heart really, really bad because I love this guy coming out of college, and I still do love him. But process-wise, I think it's a great time if you can afford to get rid of him, for an absolute haul. And it is Michael Penix, the projected starting quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. Everyone's assuming Michael Penix is going to be 17-game starter for the Atlanta Falcons, and it's going to be great because he did well in a 3-game sample size at the end of this season. Michael Penix rushing upside. He had 3 yards in his first game, 3 yards in his second game, and 5 yards in his third game as a starter. So his ceiling is already capped as a pure pocket passer, and a lot of your league mates are not going to realize that. In those 3 games, he faced the Giants, 27th in EPA per pass, Commanders 16th in that metric, and the Carolina Panthers 31st, second worst in EPA per pass. So 3 weak defenses. Commanders, their counting statistics were a lot better than their metrics. And in my opinion, EPA per pass is the best metric to go off. I made a lot of money on that in our gambling podcast in the regular season this year. You can easily get right now 2 first and a super flex, 2 first round rookie picks for Michael Penix. Or if you're like, hey, Jamie, I have Michael Penix, but I can't get rid of him because I only have 2 quarterbacks starting right now and it's a super flex league. That's fine. I actually got a pretty tasty trade offer. I didn't end up taking it because I got something better, but I was offered Dak Prescott plus some picks plus some players for Michael Penix. So that is also an option to flip a buy low quarterback, an older quarterback for Michael Penix, who is, I believe, 25 years old. I should have this. Michael Penix, 25 years old. And a lot of people aren't going to realize that too, because it's the second year in the NFL. He was older prospect coming out of school. So Dak Prescott's only about 5 years older than Michael Penix. So it's going to feel like a big turn in age, but it's not. So with all that being said, I'm a big Penix guy. I love Michael Penix, and in best ball, actually, I think is great value. I've been drafting him a bunch. So Michael Penix in best ball, go ahead and smash him. In Dynasty, get rid of him. My number 2, and I'm really passionate about this, is sell high on Rome Odunze. Now, a lot of you are saying his value has kind of decreased. Hasn't really been the case. In startup ADP, it's been pretty flat his whole career. In Dynasty or in best ball fantasy football, his value has kind of stayed the same ever since pre-draft of last season. So you can still get a lot for Rome Odunze because a lot of people still have take lock on this guy who loved him coming out of college. And even real analysts on X are standing for this guy. But let me go deep dive into his statistics, tell you how bad it was for Rome Odunze in his rookie season for Chicago. And a lot of people were like, oh, he was behind Keenan Allen all season. That was not true at all. He played 17 games. Keenan Allen actually missed 2. He played 17 games. He ran 569 routes, which is 8th most in the NFL. He ran the 8th most routes in the NFL last season. He was actually behind DJ Moore in that statistic, by the way. Receiving yards, he was 734 total yards, 41st in the NFL. So 8th most routes, 41st first most yards. 17.8 target percentage, 66th in the NFL. 53.5 catch percentage. Supposed to be a contested catch guy. 78th in the NFL. Plus 0.09 EPA per target. 68th in the NFL. And there are a bunch of excuses people are making for him. Nobody's making excuses for the quarterback situation for Brian Thomas, by the way. I've noticed that. Nobody's made the excuse for Justin Jefferson. I've noticed that for his, questionable quarterback play last year. I've heard it's Caleb Williams' fault. Caleb Williams didn't have a great rookie season. He was okay. He's 24th in passer rating. He was fine as a passer. And guess what? Caleb Williams is going to be the quarterback next year, so I don't know what you're expecting. Keenan Allen's out of the building, and they just walked 2 more receivers with their first 2 picks. 10th overall, they took a tight end, a pass-catching tight end in Colson Loveland. And in the second round, they took questionable character concern guy, but absolute demon on the field, Luther Burden. The only reason he was there was because of his character concerns. Ben Johnson came in. He said, you guys need a new offensive line. You guys need 2 young receivers on this team. We played against you guys 2 times last season, and my buddy Aaron Glenn wasn't even breaking a sweat trying to stop Rome Odunze. And of course, everyone's expecting Ben Johnson just walk in here as a head coach, just like every offensive coordinator who has any success in the NFL. They just walk in day one to a bad organization, bad football team, and snap their fingers, and all of their magic fairy dust just permeates throughout the building, and the team gets way better. Maybe that does happen, but I would like to point out that Ben Johnson and the Lions, when Ben Johnson was calling plays, Lions ranked 26th in pass rate last season. So they're probably going to pass less in this offense, especially when they sign Nick Chubb. The new team, the new leader of the team brought in 2 pass catchers to replace Rome Odunze. And I have seen people like, no, they're replacing DJ Moore. Oh, DJ Moore, 28-year-old who led your team in routes, receiving yards. He led the team in every receiving metric that I have available to me. That's the guy that they're getting rid of? I don't think so. They're trying to replace Rome Odunze. You can easily get a first-round rookie pick next season for Rome Odunze right now. He's not going to be worth that 3 weeks into the season. My next sell-high candidate is Garrett Wilson. And this is going to be a pretty short handicap on this one. His value is insane. I think he's currently number 13th wide receiver off the board in best ball fantasy football. So people are still expecting a low-end wide receiver 1 season from him, but he's a Jet, and the Jets just signed a new head coach, and he's another defensive coordinator. So I'm not expecting this offense to get any better. I'm actually expecting it to get much worse, at least for the receivers with Justin Fields. There's so much hype with Justin Fields coming in and replacing Aaron Rodgers, and now they're college bros. They're best friends in college. They had such great college production, Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson together. It has to work, and I just don't think it will. He is a mobile quarterback. He's going to run the football a lot, and Garrett Wilson, we've made a lot of excuses for him. He was one of my favorite prospects I've ever scouted coming out of college, but at the end of the day, he's averaging like 1,050 receiving yards and 4.5 touchdowns in his first 3 seasons with the team. I don't expect it to improve this season. So especially if you're win now, I think you got to get rid of Garrett Wilson because he's going to have a couple of bad years or maybe just a bad, career with this Jets organization. There's not a lot to get excited about going on over there. And it sounds like Garrett Wilson wants to sign a long-term extension with the Jets, which I think is worst case scenario for the young lad. So he's still young. You can still get a lot for him, get at least a first round pick for him and call it a day. If you're looking to get rid of some roster space or flip him for an older wide receiver who you really believe in. Older wide receivers that you might be able to get instead of Garrett Wilson, Mike Evans would be the first one that comes to mind. Devontae Adams, I bet you could get either one of those guys plus picks for Garrett Wilson right now. So go ahead and do that. And we're going to stick with the Jets here. Like I said, I do not project this offense to be great. There's a lot of hype coming behind Braylon Allen right now. The new offensive coordinator said we're going to have more of a committee back here. Breece Hall has regressed every single season that he's been in the NFL, of course, with the knee injury, which of course plays into it, but that's a real thing. Braylon Allen's 21 years old. So every single time you send trade offer, the first thing that Dynasty Manager does is he clicks on that player, he checks the age. He's going to be 21 years old. He's like, wow, he could get a lot better, which he could. And again, this is a guy I really love in best ball still, honestly, but he's got a mobile quarterback. I project the offense to be kind of worse. It still will be a committee. I don't think he's going to take over because he wasn't great last year. 92 attempts, 3.6 yards per carry. If you only had 92 attempts, you really want to have over 4 yards per carry in the NFL, at least. Negative EPA per attempt. 19 receptions, which is nice, but with Fields on the team, I don't expect him to receive as many checkdowns. He's on the Jets, so you probably drafted Braylon Allen last season's rookie draft with a third-round pick. You can easily get a second-round pick for him. That's just good team building. So that's what I recommend you do. And one last bonus sell high, because I don't know what you can get for this guy, but you might be able to get a little something. DeAndre Swift is currently projected to be the lead back for the Chicago Bears. Now, the best ball community isn't buying it. I think maybe Roshan might take over. But what I really think is going to happen, what I guarantee is going to happen, is Nick Chubb is going to get signed here in June to be the lead back in Chicago. He will be not the bell cow there, because I think Ben Johnson wants to spread the football around a little bit with him and Roshan or him and Swift. But Nick Chubb's going to be the lead back of this offense. So, spoiler alert, we are going to do a buy low segment next episode. So stay tuned for that. Get whatever you can for DeAndre Swift, because in 7 days, he is going to be a drop candidate on your dynasty roster if you don't have super deep benches. If you can get a third-round pick or better, if you can get a fourth-round pick in Fab, I'd do that for DeAndre Swift. Ben Johnson already didn't like him. Had his hands on him once, didn't go well. And that is the episode. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to check out our buy lows. You just got rid of all these guys. You got some draft capital, or you got some older guys. How about some guys that can fill up your roster for cheap? We'll definitely discuss Nick Chubb on that episode and a few more guys. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.